Hello everyone, this is Laura Nicole Fonville, Integrative Energy Practitioner, and I specialize in EFT tapping. And today I want to talk about that feeling of not feeling good enough. And I think that's something that everyone can relate to. I know that I can. And those feelings can come up for a variety of reasons. Perhaps it has something to do with things that have happened in your childhood. Maybe you're comparing yourself to your peers. Maybe it's something that somebody said to you yesterday, right? And these thoughts can start to swirl around in our heads and make us feel crappy and doubt how we doubt ourselves. It can make us feel sad. It can make us feel frustrated. And no one likes to feel that way. And learning how to move through that as opposed to just stuffing it down and trying to ignore it and trying to, just keep going, forge ahead is important, because when we don't hold the space for ourselves, it catches up with us. So it's important to recognize different ways of working on this. And some of those ways obviously include, recognizing when you're comparing yourself to others and stop doing that. You can also have a list of past achievements that you can go back to and remind yourself of. Sometimes it's helpful to keep those really nice emails that you get from colleagues saying thank you for something, and going back, just having a file of those things that you can go back to. Focus on the process that you're in, whatever it is that you don't feel good enough about. Focus on what you're doing, that you're working towards a goal, and maybe you're not there yet, and maybe that's why you're feeling down on yourself, but you're working on it. So focus on the process. It's also helpful to speak to a friend or a loved one who can give that listening ear to you, and remind you of all the good stuff, right? You can also do an act of kindness for somebody else. That also helps to kind of get you out of your head and focusing on someone else by doing something kind. And of course, you can always tap. You can always reach out to a therapist or another mental health professional, and just don't ignore it. Whatever you do, don't ignore it. Do something about it. So today we're going to tap for it. So coming to the side of the hand and taking some deep breaths and repeating after me. Even though I don't feel good enough. That's where I'm at today. Even though I don't feel good enough and it makes me feel sad and frustrated, I love and accept myself anyway. Even though right now I'm not feeling good enough and I'm comparing myself to others, and it makes me feel sad and down and depressed, I'm honoring where I am today. Not feeling good enough. Not feeling good enough. Not feeling good enough. As you're saying this, notice if there's anything you're feeling in particular areas of your body. I'm not feeling good enough. I don't feel good enough. I've been comparing myself to others, and I don't feel good enough. What thoughts are coming to your mind as we're saying this over and over again? Because I'll tell you, the one thing that comes to my mind is, that's BS. Isn't it funny how that happens? These thoughts come up. So we can say, even though I'm thinking that's BS, that's how I feel. Even though I'm thinking that's BS, sometimes I still feel not good enough. Even though my brain is telling me that is BS, I'm doing all the things. Right here, right now, I'm acknowledging how I feel. My brain keeps saying it's BS. Taking some deep breaths here. This feeling of not being good enough. I feel it in my chest. And my brain is saying it's BS. But I'm feeling it in my body. I've felt it before. And I want to let it go. I know that I'm good enough. But it's not how I'm feeling at the moment. Even though I know that I'm good enough, it's not how I'm feeling. And maybe that's okay. Even though I know that I'm good enough. Deep down, I know it. It's not how I'm feeling in the moment. And that's okay. I'm acknowledging how I feel. Even though I know that I am good enough. And my brain is telling me that feeling is BS, or the thought is BS. It's what's coming up. Even though that's what's coming up, I love and accept myself. These thoughts about not feeling good enough, they're there. I've experienced them before. And I've been able to let go of them before. I trust I'll be able to do that again. I can choose to focus on the wins. I can choose to focus on the process. Maybe things aren't happening exactly as I want them to, which is leading me to feel this way. But I'm working on it. I'm working on it. So even though part of me still feels not good enough, the other part of me knows that I am. And I feel that too. Even though there's these two parts of me, the part that feels not good enough and the part that knows I am, I'm honoring both. Even though I have these two parts of me, I'm acknowledging them, and I'm choosing to focus on the process. Because that feels better. I'm choosing to focus on the process, the things that are working, the things I can celebrate. And at the same time, I'm allowing the feelings. It's okay, and I'm okay. It's okay, and I'm okay. I'm moving through this. I'm moving through it. Letting go of these unhelpful thoughts. Because I deserve to feel good. I'm worthy of feeling good. And maybe I just needed to remind myself of that. I'm worthy of feeling good. I get to choose where I focus my attention. Even though that's not always easy. Right here, right now, I'm reminding myself. I am worthy. I am good enough. And I deserve to focus on that. Take a nice deep breath in. Let it go. And notice how you're feeling. I feel lighter. I hope you feel lighter too. And if you are feeling lighter, celebrate that. All the wins, even the smallest of wins. Celebrate the fact that it's sunny outside today. that you got out of bed. Celebrate the wins. One step at a time. You are worthy. I'm sending you all the love and light. Take care.